This is the Coffee Playdate podcast, and I am Dr. Olga Dengar, hospitalist, mom of 3 under 6, and a life coach for women physicians and professionals. On this podcast, I spotlight entrepreneurs and doctorpreneurs who are doing incredible things beyond traditional medicine. You'll hear the real-life stories behind their mindset shifts, the challenges they've overcome, and the practical advice that they share to support aspiring entrepreneurs on their own paths. I have a very special guest with me today, Samantha Blossom.
Yay! Hi, Dr. Olga. I'm so excited to be here.
So happy to have you. I always like to start off by asking, do you drink coffee?
I do drink coffee. Have my coffee right here. Yeah.
Beautiful. And how do you like your coffee?
So this one, I like to put collagen at the, there's this collagen powder I like. So I like a little collagen and a fresh creamer, from the creameries, where it's in the glass jar.
Yeah.
So yeah, so that's my favorite. But if I go out, then usually just a latte, a cappuccino with half and half or a latte with half and half.
Yes, I love cappuccinos. I drink one cappuccino every day.
Yay. How do you like yours?
With a sprinkle of cinnamon on top.
Oh, that's so good. Yum.
So we're going to play our first game. It's called Rapid Fire Questions. I'll present you with 2 answers, and you just pick your favorite. You don't have to explain why. You just go with your gut instinct.
Perfect.
First question, would you like to visit the past or peek at the future?
Peek at the future.
How about this one? Would you rather have bold lipstick or bare face glow?
Ooh, I'm more of a bare face glow.
Nice. When it comes to movies, do you like comedy or
Ooh, definitely comedy.
Beautiful. And the last question here, do you prefer cake or pie?
Ooh, really depends. But in this moment, I'm going to say cake.
Do you have any birthdays coming up?
So December 6th is my birthday. So it's a little while before the cake gets here.
Now, the next game is called Take a Sip. And this time, we'll both answer the questions. And if our answers match, we'll take a sip from our coffee cups.
Okay, great.
First one is voice notes or video calls?
Voice notes.
I have to say video calls. No sip. Early flight or a late night road trip?
Ooh, late night road trip.
I have to say early flight. We're so different.
I love it.
How about this one? A big city lights or quiet countryside?
Ooh, right now I'm going to say quiet countryside.
Yeah, me too. I love the quiet countryside.
Here we
Cheers. And the last question here, all-inclusive resort or a backpacker hostel?
All-inclusive resort.
All-inclusive. The hostel days are behind me.
I've done that.
Okay, perfect. So Samantha, I know a little bit about you, but can you tell our listeners about the amazing work that you do?
Ooh, so right now I call myself an Opulence Oracle, but really I'm a software programmer for your body. So let me talk about that. Essentially, I'll talk to someone and explore their favorite reality. And imagine you're at the core here, and then you have all these things that you desire. And we have these secret conversations with all of these things. And do we have more love towards the thing, which creates magnetism, or do we have more fear or hate, which creates this accidental repel? So my job is to find the secret conversations and create more magnetism. But I say I'm a software programmer for your body because I do a style of healing called BodyTalk. And it tunes into the person's innate wisdom. So your innate wisdom knows the optimal best for how your body can operate. And when we're in our everyday stressors, these lines of communication break down. And so when I'm communicating to the innate wisdom, it will tell me, I want this organ to talk better with this organ. I want this to flow like this. Let's repair this receptor site. And so then the body starts to operate better and your bandwidth expands. So I'll see an entrepreneur that's struggling in their business. And as we update the operating system, all of a sudden, they can take on 10 projects. They can do so much more. And they get so much more creative because the software's been updated.
So it's more like synchronizing the energy and the flow of the electricity of your body.
Love that you say. So I've been calling it congruence. It's getting your system congruent and congruent with the vision and the field. And as Olga knows, my current Instagram went down, but prior to that, I had a reel go viral, and I know it came from a space where I elevated my frequency to this plane of deep connection and oneness. It was just I hit the frequency and I woke up and it just happened. And this is often what I'll teach my clients, and depends on everyone's business. But I had a venture capitalist. He went from like a $10 million year to a $10 million month. But it's like we hit these frequencies where he just relaxed and trust his whole team, and it just like kind of happened, you know? So I feel like that's what I often teach my clients to get to, is to get into this float state. And then it's the things just kind of show up for them.
Yeah. Tony Robbins often says, what we focus on is where our energy flows, right? Do you
Yeah.
feel like when your clients focus on the things that they really want to focus on, that energy kind of automatically comes to them? New ideas pop up, they get more creative. What has been your experience?
Yeah, so it's like a computer screen. If you have a computer screen right here, and then if you put too much energy focused on past stuff, it's like all that energy leaking towards there.
Mm.
If you're focused too much on the problem, energy is also focused there. So if you can just get really tight and be like, this is what I'm creating, and I just say, like, put your blinders on, like, this is what you're creating. So you get really focused on that, then all your energy, your conversations, your thoughts, everything is like moving in this direction. And then that can come in so much faster.
Yeah, I really truly believe that. There's so much power to it. Do you feel like this is an area that a lot of people know about, or do you think that this is something that's overlooked in our society?
Oh, I for sure think it's overlooked. I think that there are a lot of old structures and systems that have been built. So, because that becomes a strong pattern, we all think, oh, we need to just keep building that way. So, to be able to create something new takes extraordinary energy to say, hey, I'm going to be innovative. I'm going to do it this way. No one's done it this way before. But I'm going to. So, it takes a lot of strength and willpower and energy and focus to say, yeah, I'm going to move in this direction, because essentially you're guiding the life force and you're training it to move in a new direction.
That's so extraordinary. I love this conversation right now. Curious to know, how did you get into this space?
It's not the best story. So I lived in Shanghai, China for 6 years, but my second year, and I was studying acupuncture, Chinese medicine, I got
Yeah.
really sick. I was like coughing blood, like I had extreme bronchitis. Like, I think the pollution, the stress of school, because everything was in Chinese, like I was used to straight A's like most of my life. And then when I was struggling with grades, I was like, and it was like nothing healed my body. It was like I tried acupuncture, herbs, Western medicine, like nothing, like for 3 months, nothing was getting me better. And
Yeah.
then I finally had a 4-hour energy transmission, and I was completely better after that. And it was so wild. Like, I felt so much light flowing through my body. And I just felt like when I left there, when I went to the subway, I just felt like waves of light. Like, it was like a totally different reality that I was in. All of a sudden, I'm like, oh my God, we're all connected. It's just all gold waves of light. You know, you get into these peak states where you start to see realities totally differently. But anyways, so my lungs just like spontaneously healed. And after that, I was like, I have to study from like every teacher, every modality. So I studied so like from teachers like all over the world when I was in Shanghai and also in the US. So I was just like, oh my gosh, give it to me.
Wow, I'm sorry you were so sick, but I mean, that's incredible how you were able to heal from that. How did you stumble upon this energy transmission?
So I had a friend that he was also an energy worker, and he did a session on me, but it wasn't the same. It didn't give that same strength. This woman, she was like 60, but she looked 40. Like, she looked so like incredible. And yeah, and he said, "Oh, she's going to do a hypnosis session." But I got there and it was not a hypnosis session. I was like, oh my gosh, this is like a 4-hour energy transmission of light. Like, I felt light move through my entire body. Like, and after that, I started spontaneously channeling. Like, I saw lights. Like, it was a big door opener for me.
Do you recommend that for someone who's going through some pain or a very tough situation in their body?
So I think when someone's going through a tough situation, they don't have enough light. There's not enough energy to move through the experience. So that's why Reiki works so wonderful, and all these different modalities, EFT, tapping, because there's so many angles that we can look at the thing. If it's blocked, the cells don't have enough energy, don't have enough light to make the leap. once it has enough energy and light, it will move through the experience. And so how you access that, there's so many ways, right? Because if we go through the channel of hypnosis or we go through the channel of mindset, different thoughts will have a different energy frequency. And if you can look at the same thing from a different lens, you're going to shift the frequency of it. And once the frequency shifts, the body will start to heal itself, because the universe is like, I'm trying to gift you like all these beautiful gifts. And a lot of times we look at the wrong angle. We're like, this
Yeah.
isn't working. This is like horrible. Why is this like? And because we're looking at it that way, we accidentally criticize ourselves and creation, and that energy decreases. The moment we can see, like, oh, here's the blessing, here's the gift, the faster we can see that, the faster the energy is going to rise up.
I love that. In life coaching as well, we talk about changing your mindset, changing your perspective so that you can act differently and the results of your actions would be completely different than they would have otherwise been. Do you find that a lot of your clients come to you when they're struggling with something, like when they have a pain point, or do they come to you when they're at their peak energy states?
So I definitely get a very big variety, because sometimes I get clients that are like already doing amazing, but they're ready for that next level. And then sometimes I'll get clients that are like, they might have just gotten out of a divorce and like they're just having a hard time moving to that next phase. And I think a lot of what I do is just focus on, you're so powerful no matter what's happening in your external world. Like, as long as you always know what next step to take. Like, when you learn to harness the power here, then you just know, okay, the next step is this, the next step is this, the next step is this, and then the good stuff just starts to roll in.
You become so certain of what the next step would be for you.
Yes.
Amazing. So, talking about a little bit about your business, was there a mindset shift that you needed to make as you were moving forward with your entrepreneurial journey?
Yeah, I was really shy as a little girl, and which no one would ever know, because I think I've always had a ton of friends like all the time. But what often would happen for me is I would have all these clients and they would become like really good friends, and I would create a sense of safety of like, okay, these are all my clients forever now. And I would need to stretch my mind to say, but there's new people that need to meet me. And I think that that's my biggest breakthrough, is not to think that, oh my gosh, like I'm going to like run out of clients or something, or like this is going to be done and I'm never going to meet another new client. I had to start to journal and write out, like, it's almost like you're a movie director of your life. And if you start to write out new characters, then these new characters will show up and appear. And if you realize like you're always evolving and your clients are always evolving, of course, like a client's not going to be with you for like a whole entire lifetime, because they're on their journey and their path and you're on your journey and your path. Sometimes the frequencies are a match and sometimes they're not a match. And so to honor that, to know that, business is infinite. There's always new people, there's always new circulation, but your brain can get stuck on, well, this is what worked last time, so I should keep doing this. There gets to be this bridge idea of like, well, there's also new people, there's also new experiences. And so I remember when I lived in Santa Barbara, I had this amazing friend client, and she sent me like 80 people in like a week or whatever. Like, she just made like all these different new introductions, had so many new clients. And then when I moved to West Palm Beach, I'm like, oh my gosh, like I'm not going to have a connection like that, but my brain was stuck on, okay, for 4 years, there was this one person that like always sent me beautiful, amazing humans. And I just started to journal out. I was like, okay, but there could be another person like this, you know? And I realized like the moment that I'm like, wait, life is very creative and life is very innovative and there's always new pathways to receive. Once that shifted, then it was like, okay, now I have multiple different variations of like a person that like would like to send me clients or talks about me, or just like helps get the work out, because it's such a niche style of work that I do. I do feel like referrals are probably like the best way to come in, because it's such a new modality for people.
Yeah, it's very unique and it's incredible work that you're doing. And I think it's so much needed in our society today. I mean, there's so many people that are just kind of chugging along. They're not optimizing to their peak energy states. They're not tuning into their frequencies. And I think the work that you're doing is amazing.
Thank you so much. Yeah, I mean, I've had clients spontaneously heal from a brain tumor. Like they went to do the CAT scan and it was totally gone. And really, it was just like when the body comes back to its power, when it realizes how powerful it is, it will look at the thing and say, "Hey, I should eat that up. I should consume that. I should like, why is that there? I didn't notice that was there." And it will just like clean it up, you know.
That's a miracle.
Yeah, it's
Amazing. Now, has there been a challenge as you were moving through your business that you had to overcome and grow from?
definitely feel like I used to own a yoga studio and a wellness center. And I realized the model of that business was just really hard on my body. Like I didn't want to go to a physical location every day. I didn't want to go to the same physical location every day. And it wasn't until I like experienced it that I understood, oh, that's like not the right style for my body. You know, like I'm like Sagittarius. I like to travel. I like to meet new people. I like to go to new places, like eat new foods. Like I like a lot of freedom. And so I think when you first build your business, you build it in a model of like, oh, well, I see other people make this successful. So that's how I should build my business. But I think as you kind of evolve, you're like, wait, but like, what is it that's true for your body type and your soul's mission? Like, what is it that you really want? Then how do you build the business to like circulate that, to like mirror that? And so I think that I've had to play with a lot of different business models to find out like, oh yeah, like this is the one that like is really in flow for me, you know? And I remember having an astrology reading and them saying like, oh, I'm just like, I'm such a flow state person because I'm just like, I'm meant to be in the right place at the right time to meet the right person. Structure it too much. It's kind of like it locks me down. But yeah, so I think everyone gets to play with that and find out like what's right for them.
Yeah, I love that. You have to kind of experiment different types of models. So, what is your current business model? Do you do a lot of online or virtual appointments?
Yeah, so I have a mastermind, so that means Zoom calls once a week and then voice notes throughout the week. And then I have one-on-one clients, which is also Zoom calls and voice notes. And then now I've incorporated retreats. So our next retreat is going to be in Hawaii and we have another one in Mallorca. So I realized like, okay, I love the in-person like connection piece. So we've also partnered with a private social members club here in West Palm Beach so we can do events there. And so we're doing events there. And so then it's kind of like I get this hybrid of like I still get people in person. And then I also get to spend a lot of time online. And I think because of the style of work I do, like my force field has to be pretty like clear. And so being able to just like be in my own space and like work there, like I can like go out and hang out with people. Like I live in a really vibrant city, so I can like go have dinner with friends, but I can always come back and like keep my space really clear and incubated. You know, because that's how I hear the messages. Like that's how I can channel for them and like feel that for them. So I've just realized like that style works really well for me.
You must be living every day in like such bliss and excitement and just an amazing state because that's what you have to show up as for your clients and everyone around you.
I think that's recently I told my client, I was like, your light is your marketing. I said something like, it's like, because I think when you radiate a certain light, people will just feel it and they'll be like, oh, okay, like it's my time to work with her. Like they'll just kind of find you. I do think another interesting thing for me is I've had to learn to build up my aura, build up my life force, because if you get a client that does complain a lot or has like denser energy, you don't want to absorb that energy. So I have definitely had times where it's like, oh man, I think I'm absorbing that energy. But it takes a while for you to realize you're absorbing that energy. So you need to know how to keep your aura really clear. So when those denser energies come, you can just alchemize it and you don't like take it on into your system.
Wow. I need to learn so much from you. This is so useful.
And it's like, yeah, I think we're all so much more evolved now that we can have these conversations, you know?
Oh, and so I have an interesting question here. Was there a time that you can think of where you've gone above and beyond to create these extraordinary, meaningful experiences, either for your loved ones, your team, or your clients, while also budgeting the majority of your budget?
So I think that my superpower has always been like intimate connections and intimate moments and like deep dives, you know? So whether I take a client out to dinner and just like have like deep conversations, because I think that that's something that we often miss is like that like someone seeing your soul and just like really paying attention to you. I think there's that. But of course, like I've done like bonus private one-on-one days where like I'll gift like crystals and like an oracle deck and just like little things to like pamper them with. So that's something that I've done where I just like I gifted like a half day private. That was when I had like a studio in Santa Barbara. So yeah.
Yeah, it's those little small touches that we kind of start to overlook in our lives. And especially what you said about having those deep, meaningful conversations. Because I feel like every time I go to like a play date or catch up with a friend over coffee, it takes a while to really dive in. And most
Mhm.
of the conversations first are like more superficial.
Yeah.
Do you have any tips on how to kind of dive right into it?
That's a good question. I mean, okay, I'm going to come at it from a few angles. One is from positive psychology, asking the question, what's going well? When you ask someone what's going well, their brain is going to start to pull up the images of like what's happening that's well and like doing well in their life. And I think the other thing is something inside of me just says they want to have a deep conversation. Yeah. That actually is, I would say, maybe a blocker for me because I don't know how to have surface level conversations. Like, I do think that might be like a block for me. I'm just immediately deep. I don't actually know how to do like, does that make sense? And I think because I
Yeah.
don't know how to do that, sometimes I don't bridge that conversation that well because I'm just like, let's just like go right in. But I do think that it's something inside of you that says, you're open and available for it. And when you're open and available for it, the mirror will be open and like they will also be open and available for it.
That's beautiful. Before we end things off, I want to know if you have maybe a piece of advice that you would give someone else
Mhm.
starting out in a similar space.
I think I said make it fun and playful. And I think it's really important to understand that your internal value is eternal. Like you're always valuable. Like no matter what's happened, because I think what happens, especially for entrepreneurs, we can look at this external thing and make it mean I'm valuable or not valuable. But your value is separate from that. Like the business is like a video game, like outside. Like your core is eternally valuable. And I think if you can stabilize that, that way your audience can go up and down and like money can go up and down, but it's not going to touch you. Like your safety and security is like here and it's strong and it's forever. And then that way you can play in a way that's very sovereign. You're not playing to get, you're playing because that's a true action for you. I want to talk about it a little bit more because it's like you've been here lifetime after lifetime after lifetime. Like you are an eternal soul. The stage is going to change, the characters are going to change, but like the fire, like you're always going to be safe. You're always going to, the money's always going to show up. Clients are, everything's always going to show up. You're always going to be okay. Where in the video game, it's going to look scary. Oh no, it's not here. Oh my God. And like, it's about like being able to create that strong love to know it's always going to show up.
It's always there, it's always showing
It's
up.
always there.
Yeah. And most of us forget is like we have to enjoy this journey of life. It's a gift that we're given. And a lot of times we forget that and we just focus on the one outcome that we want to achieve. But there's so much more going on around us.
Yeah, I would say focus on aliveness, like focus on the feeling of aliveness because then you're on track with your soul. If you're on the feeling of aliveness, like you're growing, you're evolving, you're meeting people, you're doing the next thing, like that aliveness like has a buzz and it has a momentum and it like just naturally creates the next thing.
Wow. Yeah.
Yeah.
If our listeners want to stay a little more alive, what are a couple of books recommendations do you have for them?
I was like, can I have two book recommendations? Okay, so this one is called The Secret Language of Your Body by Ina
Yeah.
Seagal. And I love it because we all have a body. So the body is always talking to us. And I think of your body as like a tool for enlightenment. So it is kind of like speaking to you. And it's like, you're on track here, you're off track here. You know, it's like once you understand that, I think you can bring yourself back so much faster. So I think this is like super helpful. And then this is my book with co-written with Pamela Chen, The Mandarin Tree. And this is going to teach you about like dragons and the Phoenix, and like just like these guides that live in the other dimensions. And it's just like if you can be whimsical and playful and realize like there's always beings that are supporting you, like you always have angels and fairies, and like it just makes your life so much more fun to be like, wait, I'm always supported. Like the universe is always delivering good stuff to me. Like things are always happening for me. And then you don't get distracted when it's like, oh, the thing's not showing up. You're like, wait, even in the invisible, there's so much abundance on its way.
Yeah. Oh, congratulations on co-authoring a book. That's huge. And one last question here. If someone wants to learn more about your work and how they can get in touch with you, what's a good place for them to go?
So yeah, they can come to my new Instagram, Samantha Jade Blossom, and my website, samanthablossom.com. They can start with the intro session. And in the intro session, we can map out where to go from there because I have a better vision of their like next 6 months, what they want to create, what they want to energize, where they're focusing on something, where they're accidentally like putting energy towards something they don't want and it's getting bigger. Like we kind of move that energy in the other direction.
I love that.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for being here today, Samantha. I loved our conversation. We had so many great insights that you've shared with us. So I'm very grateful for you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Olga. This was so fun. I'm so grateful and sending everyone love sparkles. Yay!
Thanks for tuning in to the Coffee Playdate podcast. This episode is designed to help you stay driven, aligned, build momentum, and take action on your entrepreneurial journey. That's my Dhamma method in motion. If you enjoyed this conversation, hit subscribe and share it with one other person who you think would benefit from it. And when you're ready to live life on your own terms, book a discovery call at coacholgamd.com to see if one-on-one coaching with my Dhamma method is your next move.